Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. on this Monday. Thanks for starting your morning with us here on Daybreak. We've got another half hour left of Daybreak here on WGRZ Plus. And we begin with the case of the driver at the center of last year's deadly bus crash on the thruway. He's due back in court today. A discovery conference is scheduled for 56-year-old Shin Bao. Right now, he faces 5 counts of manslaughter and 5 counts of criminally negligent homicide. Bao was driving a bus with more than 50 passengers on board when it rolled over near Pembroke back in August. They were returning to New York City after a sightseeing trip to Niagara Falls. 5 people died. Almost everyone else on the bus suffered some sort of injury. The charges stem from the decisions made and the actions taken by Bao as he was driving the bus. Today will be Bao's second appearance in Genesee County Court. You may have experienced some delays if you were heading towards Swan Street in Buffalo earlier this morning. It looks like these 2 cars got into a pretty bad crash around 7 a.m. Crews loaded up the vehicles onto a tow truck as they tried to clear the area. We don't know any details right now on what led up to the crash, but we will update you as soon as we learn more. And a look at this video. A broken sewer main in Alcott has been sending sewage water into the harbor for several days now, raising some concerns among residents, business owners, and local officials. Daybreak's Natalie Foss is joining us live in the newsroom this morning to tell us more about what the town plans to do about it. Natalie?
Well, Melissa, the town of Newfane told 2 on Your Side that an emergency crew will be working to get the problem under control today. But they also said that this sewer main has been broken and sending wastewater into the harbor for almost an entire week. They say that the 12-inch main break was discovered by the Newfane Highway and Sewer Department around 10:30 on Tuesday. Since then, they got the State Department of Environmental Conservation involved, and the town says that they're following required reporting protocol while they wait for necessary parts to come in. The break is in a parking lot owned by Jim McDonough, who says that he's concerned about damage to his nearby building.
It's dropped 6 inches now, or 6 to 10 inches it's dropped. And like I say, this last week it's gone another 2 inches at the base. So we had the power shut off to the building so nobody gets electrocuted. So.
The town said that 150 gallons of water per minute have been flowing out of the break and into the creek, which then runs into the harbor. Now, while the town has been waiting on the parts to repair the break, the Newfane town supervisor says that the wastewater plant operator has been monitoring and reporting on the situation. But if conditions are good and all the parts are in today, they say they'll begin that emergency repair. Live and on your side in the newsroom, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Okay, Natalie, thank you for the update this morning. And we also have an update on calls to investigate the death of a nearly blind Buffalo refugee who was left outside a closed Tim Hortons on the city's west side several weeks ago. The death of Nurul Amin Shah Alam prompted outrage from the community and local lawmakers, and now New York's Attorney General is stepping in. AG Letitia James is raising serious questions about this case. Shah Alam was previously arrested and charged with assaulting Buffalo police, and he was released from jail and then dropped off by Border Patrol agents on February 19th. He was reported missing a few days later, and his body was discovered on Perry Street near Key Bank Center. In a letter to Congressman Tim Kennedy, the Attorney General says the loss of life under these circumstances demands a searching and independent assessment of what occurred. She adds that her office is working with Buffalo police to find witnesses and surveillance footage to better understand what happened in the days leading up to Shah Alam's death. This morning, we're working to get more information about this rollover crash in downtown Buffalo. It happened around 5:30 last night on the corner of Swan and Elm Streets. You can see one car turned on its side. No word if anyone was hurt or what caused the crash, but we have reached out to Buffalo police and we'll update you when we learn more. And the Red Cross is helping 6 adults and a child this morning after a fire in an Amherst apartment complex. Amherst police were called to the scene and fire crews as well just before 9 o'clock yesterday morning on Skinnersville Road. That's right near Sweet Home High School. We're told everyone did get out safely. Damage is estimated at $400,000 and the cause is still under investigation. But police say it does not appear to be suspicious. Well, with just 18 games to go until the end of the regular season, the Buffalo Sabres have done what seemed extremely unlikely at the start of the season. This morning, the Sabres sit atop the Atlantic Division alone after beating the Lightning last night. And 2 on your sides, Rob Hackford joins us now this morning after what many are calling one of the most memorable games at KeyBank Center, at least in recent years, if not decades, Rob. And unfortunately, we can't show highlights here on the stream, but we can talk about what happened.
Yeah, unfortunately not, but we have plenty of lasting images that will stick in people's heads coming up here. You have to go back to the Eastern Conference runs in 05 and 06 to really compare this game to anything. Sabres fans, players agreeing to that as well, calling this a special one. A few of the mind-boggling numbers from this game include 15 combined goals. The Sabres coming out on top 8-7. The Sabres with 4 of 5 goals on the power play. One magnificent shorthanded goal by Alex Tuch. 2 each for Tuch, Josh Doan, and Jason Zucker. An 11-point game win streak for Tage Thompson. Multiple momentum swings in this and 102 combined penalty minutes. Here are some of those lasting images. It was a slugfest through the whole thing. The Sabres and Lightning battling for the top of the division. They had been tied, and the players are primed and ready for the playoffs now. We heard from the guys after the game.
That's up there. That was fun. Obviously a little bit chaotic, but crazy ebbs and flows of that game. Crazy momentum swings. We had a lot of guys really step up, and it was just a hell of a team effort. Really fun to be a part of. I'm really proud of the guys.
It's one of those where we kind of knew what to expect coming into it. I think the first couple hits were obviously they got penalties for them and weren't the smartest, but at the same time, that's why we have to capitalize on our power play. If you want to run around and take runs at our best players, then our power play has to do a good job of making sure that doesn't happen too often.
This is why I play hockey. This is the best part. It's just finally we're here and we're doing good things. So I don't take this for granted at all. I'm so fired up. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for the Buffalo as a city, for all the fans too, and this means the world.
Now the Sabres now on a 7-game winning streak out of the Olympic break. They're getting right back onto the ice tomorrow night against the San Jose Sharks. So little rest. That game is at 7 p.m. The Sabres with 84 points. Their eyes are now set on the top of the Eastern Conference in the Carolina Hurricanes, who have 86, Melissa.
And going for 8 in a row tomorrow.
Yeah, going to be a big one. Macklin Celebrini, certainly someone to watch in this game on top of the Sabres. But, we got to cheer on these guys. And as they push for the playoffs here, just 18 games, each of these matter more and more.
Yeah, and it was great to see Sam Carrick, one of the new players that the Sabres acquired before the trade deadline, with the first fight and in the game, and then also scored his first goal with the Sabres yesterday. And we're still waiting for the 2 other guys who are also coming from Winnipeg, who will hopefully make a big difference on the defense. But
yeah, we certainly saw plenty of enforcement in this game.
Yeah.
But those 2 guys are known for making their own on the ice,
right,
and really pushing people around. So we'll see.
Yeah, fun to be a Sabres fan right now. We haven't been able to say that in a long time, and it's about time. Thanks so much, Rob, for the update. All right, we just lost Patrick. Where did Patrick go? Does Patrick know he's got a forecast? Oh, he's getting a battery. Okay, I can talk right now. It is going to be a gorgeous day today with sunny skies and warm temps. And it was a beautiful weekend also, at least on Saturday when we had warm temperatures, cooled down a little bit. But then with the time change, how nice it is to have sunshine and daylight, I should say, after 7 p.m. Patrick, the sun's setting around 7:15.
15, yes, 7:15. I have my batteries. I got it. No, I'm good. It was the IFB battery, which has been replaced.
Okay. Finish getting yourself all situated.
Well, the IFB's been on since 4:30, so batteries do run out. All right.
Yes,
good morning, everyone. Yes, sun set now is at about 7:15. So these longer days are certainly lovely. 63 today, tomorrow. Showers, 58. And then for Wednesday, we're going to see temperatures in the 60s with periods of rain and perhaps a rumble of thunder. There we go. We've got clear skies, it looks like, with temperatures in the 60s today. And is Rob still here? No. Okay. Something very serendipitous just happened. I'll have to tell him later. We were talking about something. We're talking about a movie.
Okay.
A movie from the 80s.
Okay.
And the clip of the movie was just on the Today Show. Really weird. Strange. We were talking about Back to the Future. And they're talking about back to the. Anyway, it's just really strange. All right, clear skies with temperatures today. Again, as I said, in the 60s. Future look keeps the sunshine out with temperatures quite mild. For tonight, clear, then increasing clouds. Perhaps a few sprinkles in the morning. A few rain showers roll in, as you can see here in the afternoon. And then a better chance of, well, there will be some showers tomorrow, but a better chance of more widespread rain comes Wednesday morning. You can see that here, affecting the morning commute potentially with some wet weather, and then a couple rumbles of thunder too as we head into Wednesday afternoon. The best threat of that would be southern tier, but there's a chance everywhere. And then those rain showers come to an end as colder air pours in for Thursday. Low to mid 60s on Wednesday. It looks like we'll see low to mid 30s on Thursday. So quite the drop, and perhaps a few snow showers in the hills. High temperatures today, mid to upper 60s, 64 in Buffalo, 68 in East Aurora, 64 or so in Olean. Tomorrow, there's quite a range north to south, cooler to the north, warmer to the south with a few showers. Okay, for today, sunny and mild, breezy, 63 degrees. For tonight, we're going to see overnight lows in the 40s. And then for tomorrow, look for, again, some increasing clouds and some showers, especially in the afternoon. 7-day forecast. There's the wet weather for Wednesday. Thursday, sharply colder. The hills of the southern tier, perhaps a few snow showers. We all get a little rain and snow on Friday. Saturday looks dry. And then we bring in some rain and snow showers with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. It's a little early to get too cute with timing, fitting in the parade with some dry time as possible, but we got to watch how Sunday unfolds. We do have some rain and snow showers, though, at times, Melissa, on Sunday.
Gosh, that's a roller coaster ride.
It is.
Isn't it?
It
My
is.
Goodness. Okay, Patrick, thank you. And stay with us. We will talk Bills and a Dolphins move coming up right after the break. Stay with us. All right, we've got some news coming ahead of the NFL free agency tampering period opening at noon today. We are hearing from Ian Rappaport that the Dolphins have informed Tua Tagovailoa that they are moving on. They will be releasing him, all to help with their cap space. As you see from Ian Rappaport's tweet, this is a post-June 1st cut, allowing the Dolphins to spread the cap hit out over 2 seasons. Still, more than $67 million will come this year. The rest of the nearly $100 million comes next year. So, yeah, Tua was their quarterback, starting QB since 2020, and dealt with a lot of concussions. So you wonder if any team is going to want to pick him up, given how many concussions he's dealt with.
And he had him home and away, so it wasn't like a home field thing. And I don't know, I want the best for him. I think he's a really good quarterback, and maybe sometimes a change of scenery can change. I mean, look what happened to Sam Darnold. You know, he became a much better quarterback when he changed teams. But yeah, the concussion thing. I mean, we all remember that game against Buffalo.
Right.
Where he was like out.
Right.
And then they brought him back on the field. Crazy.
He's just, you know, a young guy with family, and it's like, I just want him to be healthy and, you know, not potentially suffer from CTE down the road. And it was really shocking, to me at least, that he came back after all of those concussions and said, no, I'm going to play despite what the doctors are telling me to do. And he's had some good games. I mean,
it makes me wonder. I just put this together. Is that, you know, I got to believe one of his heroes, because they're both from Hawaii, is Junior Seau.
Right.
And Junior Seau was a player who unfortunately suffered from CTE and had a horrible passing.
Yeah.
So you kind of wonder if he looks at that, you know, as something to consider when he thinks about his future.
Yeah, everything I'm reading, though, about the Dolphins deciding to release him was really about the money. It didn't really bring up his health at all.
They want to start fresh at quarterback, so let's just start something new.
So this will be something that affects the AFC East. Bills play the Dolphins twice, of course, this coming year.
Did you hear who Crosby went to?
Yes, the Raiders released Max Crosby. He's going to the Ravens.
Really? Oh, stop it.
Yep, Milton is in our ear. He's a big Baltimore fan, and so yeah, that will be a huge
They're our
win
biggest
for-
threat, in my opinion,
Yeah.
looking at next season. And now they have Max Crosby. Yeesh. Got to
So we'll see if the Bills make any more moves, right?
Yeah.
So strange twist out of One Bills Drive. You probably heard on Friday that the Bills were releasing 4 players, including Taron Johnson. Well, now it looks like they're actually going to be trading him. According to Ian Rappaport, the Bills are trading Taron Johnson to the Raiders with a 7th-round pick. They're getting a 6th-round pick in return, and it appears that Johnson's release hadn't been finalized, and the Raiders jumped at the opportunity to bring him into their rebuild. And I think that will help the Bills because at least they're getting something. They were getting rid of him and not really getting anything, so now at least they
got a 7th, a 6th, and a 6th.
They're getting a 6th,
Okay.
yeah. And then the
Benford came as a 6th-round draft pick, so 6s can be good.
He worked out pretty well,
Yeah.
right? And the Bills have locked down their center. ESPN's reporting 28-year-old Connor McGovern signed a 4-year contract to stay in Buffalo, and the signing comes a week before McGovern would have been an unrestricted free agent. Left guard David Edwards is the only other starter on the offensive line left unsigned.
Interesting evolution of that signing, given some of the press that came out last week from The Athletic about McGovern. Not like he had said, I don't know if I'm coming back or not, and then a couple days later he's back.
Yeah.
So good. We need that. Offensive lines are critical, and having one that's played together for so many years is awesome.
Yeah.
So.
I was just thinking, sorry, my brain's
Brain
going
cloud,
off.
brain cloud.
Yes,
What's up there?
I was thinking Sabres, I was thinking Bills, and now I'm thinking March Madness. Selection Sunday is this coming Sunday, right? Because I'm still curious about who's coming to Buffalo. I know I'm making a major shift right now, but we're just doing all sports right now. And I'm so curious about who will be playing Thursday and Saturday here in Buffalo. This is the 19th and the 21st, so we still have some time for that. But Selection Sunday, we'll find out. So lots of sports all week long. Sabres play tomorrow, Thursday, Saturday. Bandits play on Friday, and they're coming off of 2 wins last weekend, so they're hoping to make it into the playoffs. It's just a fun sports time, even though it should be like an off season for so many. And we're used to being this off season for the Sabres, and it's not the case right now.
I'm just thinking, I went to a late March game and the Sabres game last year, and we were in the 300s by ourselves.
Yeah. And your tickets were probably $5.
I know. The kids and I, but we had a blast. But I just think about. I mean, we had nobody sitting around us, and now March hockey, you can't get tickets.
Watching the game from home yesterday and seeing how alive the crowd was. And you can see how that can inspire the players to give even more because they've got the crowd behind them. It's been a long time since KeyBank Center has been like that.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to be a Sabres fan for sure.
Hey, Gotham app, fix your app. It was glitchy.
You were trying to watch it on the app.
And a lot of people were complaining about it. My son's got it, and he was like, I can't watch. It was glitching out during the game.
You're welcome to come over to my house next time and you can watch it.
I'll be there.
All right.
Careful what you wish for.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break with more news. Welcome back. It is 9:22 now, and over the weekend, the Old First Ward was full of green-clad runners for the Shamrock Run. And this coming weekend, the celebrations will continue with the ward and the Valley neighborhoods recognizing their tight-knit families with the Old Neighborhood Parade. Generations who have, in some cases, spent over a century all in the same home. Pete Gallivan has more.
The Old First Ward, a home to generations. Every year, the Old Neighborhood Parade brings the families together, marching through the streets, carrying the banner of their lineage. Lineage that exists here year-round, not just on parade day.
It's the heritage.
Many of these homes have been passed down through the years, an embodiment of the family tree.
You look at movies like It's a Wonderful Life, and the picture it paints, that's the picture that you grew up in. That's true.
193 O'Connell Street is one of those homes. It's been owned by the Hahn family since it was built in 1900. In fact, even before a blueprint was even drawn, the land was in the family.
I grew up in the suburbs, I lived in the country, but I feel home here. I feel I belong.
Sarah is the latest Hahn to carry the deed. Sarah's great-grandmother, Sarah Elizabeth McDonald, built the home on land gifted her by her mother. She married Henry Hahn, and they lived in the upper flat while renting out the bottom floor to many families over the years. In In fact, Henry and Sarah raised 10 children in that upper flat.
To be able to walk down to church and to sit in the church where Sarah Hahn married Henry Hahn in 1900 in a double wedding ceremony with her brother, and to be able to just absorb all of that history and be proud of it.
The home passed down through generations. Railroad workers, police officers, firemen, politicians. This house was a snapshot of Irish evolution in Buffalo. Sarah's father, Gary, grew up here and ultimately took ownership, renting it out for many years before finally handing it off to Sarah. It's a home full of memories.
He walked this street as a tiny boy and as a young man, and he's walking the street in his 80s and still loving every bit of what's down here and having the pride of the neighborhood and the parade and the Irish heritage.
And a home poised to build new memories for generations of Hans to come.
What was your Hans joke, Patrick?
Oh, what if a member of that family was all by themselves?
They'd be a
Han Solo. Sorry. They are a family that is far more legendary than any Star Wars character.
Yes.
But I just thought of that.
Yeah.
That was a great story. I mean, I was joking with Pete, comparing the old neighborhood to like neighborhoods in Charlotte or Tampa where nobody's from.
right.
You know, they're a family that's been in one house for 20 years. They're considered like old guard.
Yeah. And that's the fun thing
I love that about the old neighborhood here.
And that's the fun thing about the Old Neighborhood Parade is they walk with their banners representing their families with their crest and everything. And all of the families have such lineage and heritage here in Western New York, including the Gallivan clan, which has
all 800 of them.
Yes, they all are going to be marching there. And again, weather-wise, Saturday is looking better than
a little
Sunday.
on the cool side, but Saturday looks okay. Sunday looks a little dicey at this point.
Okay. Now, the Shamrock Run, the 48th annual, was back this past Saturday. It was 70 degrees for these runners.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It's an 8K race. It's one of the first organized races of the spring season. Here they all are. No problem being in a tank top. Organizers tell us that they've seen more and more people come year after year, and they say this might have been the biggest year yet. And Thomas Appenheimer of Buffalo took first overall for the men. Mary Gisa of Lancaster won it for the women.
This is such a tradition for the center, and it's more supported every year, that it's just so beautiful. I know that a lot of things tend to dwindle with time, but this does not. If you're not, a professional runner or a competitive runner, this is still a race that you can come and have fun, and you can be with your friends, and you can walk, bring a buggy. You have so many options with this race. You're not being judged. It's just a fun time and an accomplishment for you personally, right?
Money raised from the registration fees helps the Old First Ward Community Association's efforts, including after-school programs, the Buffalo River Food Pantry, and community housing assistance. So good stuff there. I've never done the Shamrock Run. You have had a bad experience there, not with the running.
It was a great experience. I just didn't do it right.
Would you share, please?
Well, I was the starter, so I held the starter gun after a really nice. Also that day I had no voice, and I was talking to like 4,000 people on the microphone and getting everybody rallied to go, and I shot off the starter gun and didn't extend my arm fully.
Right, you're supposed to do it up here, and instead you did it here.
And it rang for like 20 minutes afterwards. But no, it was so much. That was a cold, this was 2 years ago. It was a cold, dreary Saturday morning, but they were there, man. It was like 31 and drizzle. And everybody was out there.
Right.
It was awesome.
And with the St. Patrick's Day parades, both of them this weekend, no matter what the weather is, people are going to be out enjoying it.
Yeah. Saturday looks good.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Also, this past weekend was the home show, and it's going to be happening again. If you missed it last weekend, you got another chance to head to the convention center to see it. Whether you are improving your house or you just want to be inspired by some ideas, the Buffalo Home Show features 300 local exhibitors, from landscaping companies to remodeling to interior designers, and yes, lots of bath fitters and chips and cracks in your windshields also. The home show organizers say really anything you need, you can find it there.
We've got roofing, sidings, kitchen baths, hot tubs, massage chairs, you name it, it's your one-stop shopping for your house.
And the Buffalo Home Show will continue this weekend, March 13th through the 15th. Okay, one of my favorite things about the home show and also at the Erie County Fair are the demos. I could watch someone use a broom mop combo or the knives or the ladder that has 9,000 different positions.
Or the hair curler.
Oh my gosh.
The heated hair curler. They wrap it up and make these perfect.
The jewelry cleaner.
Oh yes, must
all
haves.
of those.
Must haves.
The demos though, and actually when I was in high school, one of my first jobs, this is really embarrassing. Okay, so there's like local modeling agencies. There's not a lot of modeling here in Buffalo, but instead of modeling, they sent me out to be a mannequin in a window, which I got paid to do, and I also got paid to demo a product at local stores. The product was a Swiffer. It was brand new.
A Swifter or a Swiffer?
No, the Swiffer.
The white one, the wet ones?
The wet ones and the dry ones. And it was brand new. And so I had to, as like a teenager, going and saying,
you got
this
the
is
name
how
wrong.
a Swiffer works. It's a Swiffer. It's not a Swifter.
Swifter.
No, it's a Swiffer.
Is it? I was wrong.
Bye, everybody.